was created, where it's been, where it's at right now, and where it's going to where it's poised to go into the future. So hopefully you've gotten your coffee, your popcorn, and it's just going to be a really, really smooth presentation. I think we have some demonstrations that we're going to show you. But before we get started with all of that, I want to read this disclaimer real quick. U.S. government required disclaimer required by the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. Futures and options trading has large potential rewards, but also large potential risk. You must be aware of the risks and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the futures and options markets. Don't trade with money you can't afford to lose. This website, webinar, and the product, services, and other information contained herein is neither a solicitation or an offer to buy, sell futures or options. No representation is being made that any account will or is likely to achieve profits or losses similar to those discussed on this website or webinar presentation. The past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. Now, CFTC Rule 4.41, hypothetical or simulated performance results have certain limitations. Unlike an actual performance record, simulated results do not represent actual trading. Also, because these trades have not actually been executed, these results may have under or overcompensated for the impact, if any, of certain market factors, such as lack of liquidity. Simulated or hypothetical trading programs, in general, are also subject to the fact that they are designed with the benefit of hindsight. No representation is being made that any account will or is likely to achieve profits or losses similar to these being shown. Now, folks, basically what all of this means is that there's risk in the market, and there's no guarantees that anybody will make or any money in the market. You could actually lose money in the market. So I want you to keep that aware. I think a wise man once told me, there's a difference between something that has risk and something that's risky. And there's a lot of wealth that can be accumulated and made with trading, but for the uneducated, there could also represent losses. So we want to make sure that we're sensitive to the fact that we need to understand that as we move forward. So at Trading System, we provide proprietary software, signals, training, and education for new and experienced traders. Now, one of the things, folks, we want to start by saying what we are not. And so ACT is not a CTA, Commodities Trading Advisor. So we don't actually give advice. We do provide, however, the training support and the mechanisms for you to be able to learn how to trade your own accounts. A CTA is somebody that would be in charge of your account and trade it for you. CPO, Commodities Pool Operator, these guys are typically the guys that run hedge funds or smaller hedge funds, private trading, and they can actually trade people's money for them. That's not what we do. ACT is not a hybrid of anything else. In fact, we have very, very distinct differences in how we're set up as a company, how we deliver our system, and our infrastructure is completely different and is pretty unique. Doesn't mean a whole lot to the person that's on the user side, but from a company perspective, the delivery technology that we built really kind of sets us apart from the rest of the industry. And so we're really, really proud of that, because our delivery system is unlike anything in the industry of trading in particular. So ACT does not pick trades with a lot of subjectivity. They're either going to fall within very tight and certain criteria, and that's when signals are going to be relayed in real time for both our manual systems and our auto trader systems, which we're going to be talking about in just a sec. We don't trade in quantity. We're very, very specific on what market conditions need to be like, what we look for. And of course, we can't share all of that, right? Because that's kind of like peeking behind the curtain and looking at the Wizard of Oz. But we do have a very select rules and things that we look for. And so we're not really about quantity, we're more about quality in the way we pick our trades. ACT is a customer-centric trading system, so we strive to really provide the end user with as with ease of use, and that's our primary goal, that we can have the uninitiated, and we could also provide the experienced traders with a mechanism that can really somebody that's a novice or an expert would enjoy using. And so that user experience is first and foremost one of the things that's most important. Now, we do have a referral program for active customers, and we're going to be talking about that a little bit later. Now, why was that created? Well, we wanted to promote a new way of making income from home. Now, there's a lot of different opportunities out there, folks, a lot of opportunities that exist, and they're great. There's a lot of good opportunities out there. There's also a lot of bad ones. But one of the things that I really found out about the home-based business arena is that typically you're really not at home when you do it. And we really wanted to provide a mechanism where you could actually, with your computer and internet connection, be able to make money from home and really be at home. And so that's what I think we've been able to accomplish here. So we wanted to teach new traders as well as experienced traders, because sometimes when you get a room full of people, and let's say somebody does Forex and somebody does options and somebody does whatever else there's out there, stocks or different types of investment vehicles, they're all going to find out what everybody else is doing. They're going to find out, hey, what are you doing? Well, I do options, and somebody else, they do commodities, and somebody else, they do Forex and currency pairs and blah, blah, blah. So, and they're all great, right? They're all great, but everyone is trying to figure out what the other person is doing. Why? Because there's, the word experience, folks, is not synonymous with success. So everybody wants to kind of share ideas and pick each other's brains, because they're trying to figure out if they're doing better with what they're doing versus what they're doing. Even within the futures market, even within commodities, people are doing, well, which one do you trade? Well, I do the ES. Well, you know what? I do the NASDAQ. I do the Russell, and I do this, and I do oil, and I do gold, and blah, blah, blah. So everybody's trying to always find out what somebody else is doing, because they want to make sure they're not missing out on something that's big, bigger, greater, more profitable than somebody else. So, so that's there. So, we want to talk a little bit about commodities, which is in the trillions of dollars. Hundreds, thousands, or more are made each and every day, folks. I mean, there's tons of money that can be made, but at the same time, there are losses every day just as well. And I want to be sensitive to everybody that's on this webinar presentation. So I'm just going to make a quick little statement. I'm going to switch gears here and I'm going to go into Danny Spanish mode just for a quick second. Muy buenas tardes, saludos a todos. Aquí, bienvenidos a Act Trading System. La presentación de hoy no fui muy específico, va a ser dada en inglés, pero vamos a estar dando uno en español también, y vamos a mandar el enlace para esa presentación. Pero si escuchan, vamos a hacer una demostración que no necesitan realmente el idioma para entenderla, pero vamos a estar haciendo todo esto en español también. Les voy a mandar un enlace para una presentación en español a todas las personas que gusten escuchar esto en español. Folks, if you guys like what you see and people that speak Spanish, we are going to be doing this webinar presentation in Spanish. I will be sending out a link to everybody that registered for this webinar, also for the Spanish version of this training. But hopefully most of you can understand what we're talking about. We're going to be doing a demonstration, and really any language will understand it, because we all understand the same numbers. Okay, so hundreds of thousands of dollars are made every single day. There's low entry points, and just about anyone can participate, even if they have never traded before. Now, this is key, because, it has to be something that the masses can do. And so that's why we're so customer-centric, because we really want to find a way to make trading mainstream. And I think as more information is out there, and certainly there's a lot of different information that's out there right now that can teach you some fundamentals, some basics, and there's just a wealth of information out there. But that's it, right? It's information. So you have to be able to determine which ones you can discriminate, which ones are accurate, which ones have value, or which is more of the same. So we want to make sure that we actually are a lighthouse and a good path, if you will, for people that are barely getting started with trading. Now, you can make money when the market is up or down. That's one of the things that people say, oh my God, the market was horrible today, you must have lost money. Well, that's not true. we actually make money when the market is crashing. We actually make money when money is going up, and we actually can make money when the market is going sideways. So those really are the only three places where the market's going to go. It's either going to go up, it's going to go down, or it's going to be sideways. And here's the key: finding out how to trade, when to trade, and how to trade during those market conditions is elemental. So very, very important. So the way we do that, the way we convey the message, the way we do the training is we have a complete video library that's going to teach you the basic fundamentals. And then we have some more advanced trainings in terms of trading, because we have, remember, first and foremost, we're an educational-based company. And so we want you to learn to be able to trade even without an auto trader. And so some people are attracted to the auto trader because, time and spent in front of a computer. You may not have it. I'll tell you right now, trading is the most boringest thing in the world when you're waiting for a setup. But once you're in the trade, you'll never feel more alive. Once you're in that trade, oh, by God, it's kind of like when you throw the dice on a table and you're never more alive. You're right before or right after, but right when the dice are tumbling, that's when you know you're alive. And it's the same thing when you're in trading. I mean, it's boring to just sit there and watch a chart and look at what the candles are doing, go up and down, and the whole thing. But once you're in a trade, there's nothing else that could even remotely compare to being in a trade and then winning. Woo! That's awesome. And when you lose, you know you're alive when you lose too. So anyway, we have instructional videos, step-by-step videos that will teach you the fundamentals of trading. They are clear, concise, and easy to understand, so that you can learn at your own pace and discipline. So this is where a lot of people ask, well, how long does it take to get those fundamentals down? Well, I'll tell you what, guys. We also have some private training that we do with some customers. And I've had customers that, will learn within a week. And then I've had customers that will take maybe 3 months, and they still have not learned because they have not taken the time to really dial in. So it's really up to the individual. Now, the second way that we learn is through live webinars. And so we're going to have an updated calendar section for those of you that become members or students in our in American Commodities Traders, if you will. You'll have an updated calendar with the events as they're happening. So we have live webinars where we come into a GoToWebinar virtual room, and you'll see instruction being done and actual kind of a play-by-play of what's happened during that day on different systems that we have. Because remember, we do have different products right now that are currently available for you to have signals delivered to your computer where you can manually take trades. And so that's up and running, that's been up and running, that's our bread and butter, that's our core. But at the same time, we've developed some an auto trader that is user friendly, and that is key here, because I think that most people, or 95% of the population out there, would like to have a kind of a push and play type of program. And so we certainly have that, but at the same time, I want you to understand that you have so much more, where it's not just about the auto trader. You could give yourself the opportunity to come in here and literally have no experience in trading and learn how to trade, learn how to read the charts, learn how to read the market, understand when you should buy, when you should sell, and all those different types of things. So if you're interested in that, understand that this is part of that. So this is the second way we teach you, where you can take a peek and see the recap of what's happened in the day, and just in live and in color, take a look at everything that we do. So then lastly, we have, two more things. We have a live simulation mode. So right here, I'm actually showing you one of our most popular products, which is the BOT trading system, where you see these little diamonds here that pop up on your screen, these green diamonds that pop up on your screen. These are all trades that were winning trades. In fact, this was a phenomenal day here. You have definitely a good amount of trades that you won. That's why they're circled in green here. So this is an example. Those signals, those diamonds pop up on your screen right when they give you a lot of time to get into the trade. You'll see those diamonds pop up way before you're ever anywhere near to be able to take that trade, and you could definitely take it and make some significant income with this. Now, is it 100%? Absolutely not. But my point is this: it's live simulation mode, where you could learn without risking any money. So basically, we teach you how to access a trading chart system that will set you up with a demo account that you could track the market as it's happening live, right? As it's the exact same information, it's the exact same price action that's happening in the market. You could actually take our signals, take our trades, and do it through the live simulation mode without ever risking real money until you're comfortable enough to start trading with real money. So this is another way you can do it. Now, the drawback is that when you do live simulation mode, it's typically going to be during the American market because that's the one that has the most volume in it. So this is probably for most people would have to be a period of time between 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time and about 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time would be the hours where this is going to be the most advantageous. Now, for those of you that don't have that time, then there's also market replay. And this is the fourth way that you can learn. And you can learn as you go because you can access market replay at any given time. And it works kind of like a VCR or a DVD player. You're just accessing all the data in the market of when it happened, but you can access it from home at whatever time you want. Pick a day and pick the hours that you want to look at, and then play with this at your own time. It'll simulate everything that has happened, but you could do it whenever you can, whenever it's best for you. So those are really the four different tools that we have in order for you to learn how to trade manually. Because remember, part of your membership here is also included as the educational side of the business, which is having you learn how to trade. Now, so I think those things are important. And then I'll just mention this really, really quick because we're really proud of it. We have a proprietary signal delivery mechanism that we put in a lot of time, energy, resources, and money to build it out. And we are actually delivering signals in real time to Europe, every continent that you can think of, anywhere in the world that you can get the exact same signals. We get our feed directly from CME, which is a Chicago Mercantile Exchange, and that's what rules commodities. And we send out those signals in real time to every computer that has the ACT system installed into it. And so you're going to be able to get signals no matter where you are in real time. So this is really, really a different way of delivering signals than most companies have. In fact, we're probably one of the only ones that has this, if not the only one. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about the automatic system. And this is actually pretty cool because what it allows you to do, folks, is works. You have a robot that basically works when you cannot. Or you might be at work somewhere else doing something else. You might be, whatever it is that you do, you could actually really put this on your computer, set it, and forget it. And that's the beauty of this system, that it works for you. And it's kind of like you being able to clone yourself, and without having to learn any of the things that we just described, with very minimal trading and setup, you could literally start this Monday and be up and running with your auto trader working for you, within set hours that you pick or 24 hours a day. And so it's pretty exciting. Now, this version of our auto trader is limited to 1 to 2 contracts only. Now, for those of you that don't understand that means, your broker will allow you to trade on $1,000 one contract. Actually, a little bit more, but we wouldn't recommend you to do anything less than one contract for every $2,000 that you have in your broker account. So if you have $4,000 in your broker account, you can trade 2 contracts with our system. And those are just conservative, good money management in terms for you to be able to trade and be able to recuperate from a loss if you have it, and just not, you don't want to have too tight of a margin. So we recommend for you to have a minimum of $2,000 for every contract that you trade. Now, the other advantage of having an auto trader is that it reduces human error. And one of the things is that even if you learn how to trade, you never stop being human. You never stop being human. And there's 2 very, very strong emotions that actually regulate our trading. One is fear and one is greed. and these emotions are really, really strong. And so a lot of times when you're coming from a place of fear, it'll keep you from actually pulling the trigger and getting yourself into a trade. The greed is exactly the opposite, where you can't stop. And you know, so it happens all the time, folks. So it reduces the human error that could come from being human. You are driven by emotion. We make our decisions based on emotion, and that's very real. And if you don't believe me, just ask yourself a question. If you're married, did you get married based on logic, or did you get married based on an emotion? And most people will agree that it was emotion, and then the logic set in about 7 years into the marriage. And I'm just kidding, folks. That's just a bad joke. I'm just kidding around here. But we are human, and we do make decisions based on emotion. So now here's the other thing. It executes the trades quickly and accurately. Now, this is also very, very important, folks, because you could never put in a trade faster than your robot can. So in terms of accuracy, that's necessary for this type of trading. You can do it on your own. You can do it manually. There's nothing that's going to be stopping you from being able to do it manually, but it does do it accurately and without passion. So remember, we're removing all emotion, and it's just, if it fits the parameters, it's going to execute the trade no matter what. In order to run it, you could either run it with a paid or a demo version of NT. You can actually run our auto trader. So that's pretty phenomenal. Now, we recommend that you run this 2 weeks in simulation mode. Now, this is where it starts getting, because everything sounds great right here, right? It sounds phenomenal. But this is where I want to bring you back to reality, folks, okay? This does not eliminate the risk of trading the markets, right? And so, we read that whole disclaimer word for word from the CFTC regulations. And by the time we start talking about auto traders, people's minds are just going like, oh my God, this sounds incredible, right? Well, yeah, it does. But remember, it's still trading. So even though it's executing accurately, it's only executing what the parameters are, and nothing is 100%. And certainly in trading, you're going to find that nothing is 100%, and things change, market conditions fluctuate, and so you need to understand that this does not eliminate the risk of trading the markets. There will be losing trades. I guarantee you, I'll bet you dollars to donuts, you will get losing trades, and also losing days. Okay, that's going to happen. That's normal. It happens to all of us, even expert traders. We have good days and we have bad days. But at the end of the day, if you're winning more than you're losing, you're going to come out ahead, and that's the whole strategy here. So if risk is something you cannot handle, then do not buy our system. Very simple, folks. And I think we're being very, very transparent here and not setting up any false expectations, because there is risk involved when you are trading. Now, the Phoenix automatic system is very, very simple. We have our own chart. We have our own custom chart. We do run the NT platform, but we're actually running our own chart and our own chart trader. And if you've never traded before, that doesn't mean a whole lot to you, but we're pretty proud of it because it's our own chart. It's our own custom chart. And the way that the orders are being executed are through our own chart trader. And so it does integrate with an NT platform, but this is just a custom chart. Now, folks, I'm not going to dive into a whole training on how to use the Phoenix system. I could tell you unequivocally that from beginning to end, if you follow the first 2 or 3 videos of training that are in your back office that you're going to have access to when you become a member, you are going to be able to set this up immediately. I mean, within, it shouldn't take you any more than 5 minutes to set this whole thing up. So it's very seamless. Now, there are a couple of things that I want to point out to you on this chart trader that are going to be beneficial, and then we're going to go into a demo of how this thing works. So, number one, here's your connection. So you're going to have a place where you're going to be able to put your password and your login. Now, once you do it one time, you could set it and just kind of make it as a default so you don't have to put it in every single day. But you're going to hit this button, this connection button, which is going to be online or offline, to make sure that you're connected to our server. And then secondly, you're going to hit this button that says auto mode, right? Because it might be set to manual. If it's set to manual, you click on it and it becomes auto mode. And then if you want to turn it off, you click on it again and it defaults back to manual. Now this button here that says trade news, okay, we have a feature that's built into this. So if you've traded with us before, if you are a current member, then this is actually pretty exciting, because what we've done is we've selected the most important news times that are actually marked out in red, asterisks within Bloomberg or some of the other news things that are out there. And so there's always daily news. The nice thing is that we usually know when they're going to happen. And so when those happen, let's say it's something huge like FOMC or Janet Yellen or some of these other market makers, you know, that when they speak, they just send the market just crazily up and down, or it starts doing something weird or erratic. Well, the most important ones are automatically already ignored. So we don't trade through those times. So let me say this again. It's already set up that way, okay? Now, if you want to trade through the news, because remember, this, when you're avoiding some of the signals, you're avoiding some of the trades when you set it up that way, but it's a very conservative setting, extremely conservative. And we recommend that you follow an extremely conservative setting. But if you're a desperado, if you're like somebody named Danny Pacheco, and you want to trade through the news because you want to say yeehaw and just let it ride, then you have that option. And you can take more trades and have, you could take them automatically. And then what you would do is you would check this little box off, and then you could trade through the news as well. Now, here's the other thing that we did. We put these are very easy to see and identify, buy market and sell market. There is a manual mode. So you can actually take our signals manually if you don't want to run it automatically. But here's the thing, and this is huge, folks. We've gone and produced trades, or our triggers here are buy market orders and sell market orders. So when this triggers automatically or manually, you're immediately in the trade. Let me say that again. You are immediately in the trade. There's no question of whether you got into the trade or you didn't get into the trade. There's no fill issues. You will be in that trade. And so this was the results yesterday here with the auto trader running this thing, and I believe yesterday I ran it on 2 contracts. This might have been a picture I took after I switched this back down to 1, but I believe these results were with 2 contracts yesterday, $300. So this is actually a pretty good deal. There's money to be made in the market, absolutely, folks. And so we're really proud of our Phoenix It's doing what it needs to do. We've gone through the testing phase. This is actually the very first exposure of the Phoenix Auto system that you're about to see a demonstration of in just a second here. But we're really proud of this because it's taken a long time. I mean, a long time, energy and resources, and it's I lost more hair, if that's even possible, and it's just been an amazing thing, and to have it here for you guys to take a look at a first look of how it works, it's really exciting. So let's talk a little bit about what the promotional pricing for this program is for the ACT system. It's a one-time out-of-pocket of $11.99. Now, folks, something that you don't see here, but you will see here on the next time. So please remember this. I'm recording this, so I'll know I said it. There's going to be a $99 activation fee for every new person that comes on board. You're going to have a $99 setup fee, if you will. That's going to be over and above the $11.99. So, I forgot to put it in there, but it will be in there on the next time that you see the slide. So that's going to be on there, $99, and then $11.99 would be the price of the system. And that's going to include your first month of trading. So the monthly fee here is $249 a month, and that's going to give you 24 access to our video library, to technical support, to the live trainings, the live trainings are not 24 hours, but the live trainings are going to be during market hours or right after the market closes at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And there's also going to include the automatic updates. So you get the licensing and you get the automatic updates included in that $249 a month. There is an annual renewal fee of $99, and there is a referral program that's attached to this, and we can talk a little bit more about that in just a bit. But what I want to do right now is I want to switch gears here, and I want to play for you a little bit of how this works, how it looks, and I hear my partner, Mr. Timothy Silva, who's on here with us. Tim, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Tim. And
hopefully my mic wasn't on the full time.
It was, but that's okay. One of the things that I was going to say, it's really affected our immune system and our health as well, getting this to market. So
not many hours of sleep.
Not many hours of sleep, guys. You have no idea the time, energy, effort, resources, brain power that has gone into putting this together. And so this is a phenomenal system. And Tim, if you can, what I'd like to do is, number one, introduce you. Tim is my business partner. He's an entrepreneur. Been involved in just the business of making money for a long time. Actually built custom homes for many, many years. Was one of the most sought after builders in California. I know for sure, and then up in his area where he's currently in Idaho and in other places as well. But has been an entrepreneur, has been in the home-based business arena as well, and has done some very, very important, significant build-outs in that industry, and got involved in trading and just excelled at it. I mean, was able to get one of these guys that's kind of like, reminds you of the movie A Beautiful Mind that came out several years ago, and just kind of looks at the X's and ones and just finds patterns and he's just a phenomenal trader, and he's instrumental in bringing this to market. He spent countless hours and times and just kind of became had to shut off his phone and really dive into to bring this to market as quickly as we're able to do so. And when I say quickly, I'm talking about an endeavor that's taken probably most of the last 9 months to bring to market here. So, Tim, if you could just kind of say hello here, and then just do you need me to bring up the video? I've given you organizer control, so you could basically take over the screen if you're able to play what you're going to play, or if you need me to do anything, please let me know.
I need you to run the video because I'm not on that computer.
Gotcha. Okay, so let me bring that up real quick and pause my screen here for a sec. And
hello, everybody. I guess I left that part out.
Yeah, let me see.
Yeah, right now we have the programmers working on my other computer with...
Can you see it?
Yes, I certainly can.
Okay, there it is.
Okay, pause right there for a second. Can you pause it for just a quick second? Okay, as you see, right... Oh, still moving. There it goes. Okay, as you see, you see that green line that's kind of on an angle right there with the arrow down below it? The green arrow pointing up, going long? No, over to the left. That one right there. Okay, as you see, that trade right there was entered. Let me try and, I'm on a laptop right now, so it's kind of tough for me to see your whole view here. Let me get this bigger. Okay. You see where the little blue dot is right above the green arrow, right? You see the little blue dot on the screen? Can you point that out with your cursor? Okay, right there. Right there is where it entered the trade. Where you see 6 ticks up on this particular trade is where it won that trade, right? Is that what I'm looking at right there? Yep, right there. Okay, now when you look over here to the far right, where you have your other yellow dash that you put on the screen, right there you can see where the pink arrow is pointing down, and you can see the blue arrow pointing up. Right there's where it entered the trade, and right at the pink arrow is where it took the trade. Okay. Now, as you're watching this go along, this charting system going along, you can see that very nice artistic. Very nice. As you watch this go along, you will see some trades where it crosses that chartreuse line or a purple line for a short trade, and it does not take the trade. The reason why it is not taking the trade is our program is set for our trading. If it goes too far past the entry point, it will not take that trade. Now, some of those trades still could have been winners, but for our system, we've eliminated spiking trades off of this chart. Okay, so that way it's a bit more consistent. Okay, go ahead and play it. What you see the system running at right now is a 12-tick stop loss, a 6-point total win, or a 6-tick total win, and a 4-tick break even. What I mean by break even is if the candles or the market moves 4 ticks from its entry point and backs up and hits the entry point, it will cancel the trade there and it will become a break-even trade. Now, does that keep you out of a lot of trades? Yes, it does. From winning trades, it also keeps you out of a lot of losing trades. You will have the option in your own robot to set the parameters to what it is that you feel comfortable with trading. If you'd like to explain that to them a little bit, Danny, maybe, as we're going through this.
Yeah, absolutely. And what you're looking at, obviously, is something that's been increased in speed so that we're not sitting here looking at an entire week in real time. We would have, it would take us a week. So we're not going to do that. So we're fast forwarding an entire week here, which was from Monday of this week to Friday of this week. And so you're seeing the totals, you're seeing them tally up. When you see these totals go back to zero and start of a new day. So once you hit 12 o'clock midnight, then what's going to happen is the tally is going to go back to 00, and it'll start adding from the new day going forward. So here you saw the opposite of what you were seeing here. You took some short trades right here. This was a short trade here, also that one. So we're up to 75 here in profit.
And the P&L, which is your profit and loss, where you see the 75 on there, every 24 hours on this particular chart, you will see it reset back to 0 again. It only keeps calculations of each day that it's trading. All the calculations will go back into your Ninja Trader control panel, where you can see your profits and loss for each entire day.
I'm going to fast forward this a little bit. You see here it's at 200 in that day, and just kind of keep moving forward here a little bit to make this a little bit more seamless.
Okay, and did we go through and explain once it hits? Stop right there for just a second, Danny. Okay, to the left, where you see that arrow coming down, and you see the short trade right there, Danny? Over
yeah, I'm going to point it out. This one here?
No, back to the left farther.
This one?
Okay, yes. Okay, as you see, with going in at a sell market order, as soon as it crosses that short trade line, it enters the trade. There's no need for it to back up to put it into the trade. There's no need for it to do anything fancy to get it into the trade. if it hits the entry point, it instantly puts you in the trade. There's no question. Okay, go ahead and fast forward that.
Hang on a second. Okay, so what you're looking at right now, folks, this is important, okay, because if you saw the movement, this actually was a control pattern from the charting system, and it actually is giving you what the system did for that particular period of time. And so right here, we're looking at, for this week, we're looking at $587.50.
And please point out what's in the red right there. Please point.
What's in the red is the loss. We had a loss of $150. Now remember, this is running this at the most conservative settings. This is running it without the news. This is running it super, super conservative. And actually, the percent of profitability here was 94.74% in terms of winning trades. There were 18 and one loser with the conservative settings and with some of the tweaks that we've done. So there's been a lot of tweaking and testing over the last few weeks. We actually have a beta group that's been testing this out. And so some of the different things that we've tweaked didn't come in till about Wednesday or Thursday of this week to be able to run this and go back in time and do the replay of what the market would have been with the tweaks. And this is what the system has done.
Right. And those tweaks consist of, we've removed the spikes. So if it spikes, it will not get into the trade. If it passes up 3 ticks or more from entry point, it will not. It will cancel the trade out. We also have it set to where it is now recalculating its entry points for your highs and your lows, your shorts and long trades, to say. Those are now being calculated at different intervals as far as when the market restarts off of prior news times. So that's what our tweaking is all about.
Now, I ran mine in desperado mode, okay? And throughout the whole week, I ran mine 24 hours. I had different settings. I had a 12 and 12 setting that I was running. And my actually came out less than this because I didn't have some of the triggers and some of the fixes and the tweaks as I was running it this week. But I was running it on $1,000 one contract, and I came out with about $175 in profit for the week. Now, I was not running it conservatively. I was not running it blocking out the news in any way, shape, or form. I was going through all of the news feeds, and I ran it basically 24 hours a day for the entire week, and I came out $175 ahead. So I took some major hits. But even like that, let me put that into perspective so you know what I'm talking about. Because when you look at a $1,000 broker account and being able to make $175 on a completely automated system that I didn't have to do anything for it. Even at 175 on that setting, the desperado mode, I still came out positive. And if you look and do the math on what 175 is in relationship to $1,000 in a week, that's 17.5%, which is nothing to sneeze at, because the top hedge funds in the world will only give you 3% a month. And so, and that was completely non-conservative settings with which I ran it.
And with mine running without a stop loss, or not a stop loss, without a break even on my chart, I came out with 450. But I was blocking out the news manually. I was blocking out all types of things. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so we wanted to have a best and worst case, and so, you know, hopefully you get a kind of a good idea on that. But let's switch gears here, and thank you so much for that, Tim. Really appreciate that. And let me continue on here with the presentation and let people know what the next steps are. Now let's talk about, and this only applies for new people coming on board. If you have been with the ACT Trading System, si han estado con ACT Trading System, no van a tener que pagar absolutamente nada por el sistema, solamente va a tener que estar activo con su membresía. So I just want to make sure that you know that, pero van a tener un periodo de tiempo absolutamente gratis antes de ni siquiera tener que pagar su autoenvío. So we are going to have, for those of you that have been a part of the ACT program and have bought our products and services, then we have a special promotion for you, which is, hey, as long as you're active, you're going to have a full 2 weeks of being on the system absolutely free. And then if you want to continue on, as long as you continue on being active with your auto ship, then you don't have to pay anything additional, which is a phenomenal price point for you guys. I don't think... I told you guys we're customer centric, and we want to reward those people that have definitely been with us. And then for the new people coming on board, it's going to be a one-time out-of-pocket of $10,000. And I'm just kidding, folks. You actually have a great promotional program going on right now, because this is our promotional price, which is $11.99. And, I saw a comment here on the webinar, and I just kind of want to open up his mic real quick. And I don't know if his mic is available.
Unmuted.
Greg, are you there? Greg, your mic is open if you are. Greg, are you there? No, I don't think he has a mic available. Let's see here. Oh, doesn't have a mic. Okay, well, I'm going to read some of his comments. He goes, is this the introduction price? This is super low. And then he put a happy face. So that was something that he put on there. So Greg, if you could put on in the chat here, what have you seen some of these systems go for in some other companies? And then we'll come back to that chat in just a second. But purchase the ACT system. That's the next step, right? You purchase the ACT system, acquire the auto system, and get trained. Now, for those of you that want to check out and try out the system, we're actually going to have a promotion right now where you're going to be able to try it for 2 weeks. And then this is just a promotion. This ends immediately following these next 2 weeks, and then that grace period is out, even for new people coming on board. The promotional price will be there for the next 30 days or so, and then after that, the price point is actually going to go up as well. And I'll be giving you guys more information on that. So what you do is you download a demo version of NinjaTrader. Now here's some of the costs. You can lease NinjaTrader, which is your charting system that you're actually going to have to use from NinjaTrader, and that's $180 every 3 months or so. So that roughly is about $60 a month. That's their fee. Now, the way they charge for it is they charge you 3 months up front, which is $180, or you can buy a lifetime license from NinjaTrader for $9.95. So this is an auxiliary cost that you need to factor in if you're going to do this business. So most people are going to do the $180 every 3 months when they come on board, and then, and then once you make some money, you could buy the $9.95 lifetime license if you wish. Start your training. We recommend a minimum of 2 weeks trading in sim mode, which is fake money, to learn the system and the rules. That applies for both manual or an auto trader. And so you definitely want to be up to speed with that. Open up your broker account. Send the money you wish to trade with. You can trade one contract for every $1,000 in your account. For the auto trader folks, just in general, as a general rule, we want to make sure that you have at least $2,000 in your broker account for each contract that you're going to trade. Your auto trader can only take 2 contracts anyway, max. On manual, when you trade manual, you could do as many contracts as you want to, but on the auto trader, we're keeping it down to 1 and 2. Now, follow the rules, trade, and make money from home. So that's also referring to the education side of things and some of our other products. But you could definitely run this from home and make money, folks. And I think that that's what we're all here for. We want to make sure that we're a part of something that can produce us an income. And this is definitely something that we believe can tremendously impact your life. So, beyond that, folks, we do have a referral program, but I want to be respectful for everybody that's been on here, and so we're going to cut the webinar here short today. We're not going to go over the referral program. It's already set up and running, and it's working, but right now what I'd like to do is just kind of open up the mic a little bit for, not the mic itself, but if you have any questions, just type them into the chat box here, and if you have any questions, we can address some of those, and if there isn't, then we can just continue on here. So actually, Greg put in here on the chat, there's systems out there right now that are auto traders that the cheapest one is $3,500, $10,000, and $20,000. So there you go. The webinar trainings are going to be starting next week. So for those of you that want to participate in those trainings with the system, those will be in your calendar section here very shortly. Through this weekend, we're going to be updating the calendar, and we're going to be starting the trainings next week on Monday. Great. Thank you, Ed. Appreciate that. Alrighty. Well, we have a question from Hugo Torres. The software is connected to the Ninja Trader. Yes, it is. Yes, it is a charting system. The core of it is through the Ninja Trader ecosystem. So yes, you would need to have Ninja Trader installed to be able to run our system on it. Try the system, and during this promotional period, everybody's going to be able to try trade this for the next 2 weeks without any money out of pocket. So that's fantastic. How do you get the demo? Well, you're going to be able to run it in demo. There's no charge for the actual software for the first 2 weeks. You just have to do a one-time out-of-pocket of $500 for the training next Monday. Just kidding, Hugo. That was a joke. It's a bad joke. Yeah, just send out an email to support@Act Trading System. For current members, just send out an email to support@Act Trading System to have your status be switched to active. And then you're going to be active for the next 2 weeks, and then after that you would have to be on auto ship and pay your $250 to remain active. And that's it for people that are already with us. That's all you're ever going to have to pay is a $250 a month. For those of you brand new that are coming on board, then it's a one-time out of pocket right now of $11.99. And for those of you that are really interested in the referral program, please put a chat box, put a comment here on the chat. Let me know who you are, and we'll definitely get back on and do a presentation and a training on the compensation structure. Just very, very powerful. All All right. Well, awesome, guys. Thank you so much for being on this webinar presentation. I want to thank Mr. Timothy Silva and actually everybody at ACT that has brought this, that has worked on this program. So thank you so much, guys. And then for all of you that were on this training, thank you, Ed. Appreciate that. God bless you, too. Have an incredible weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.